It is another episode of the States Up Podcast. I'm your host, Brant Freeman, and right now it is the month of March. March Madness is here, and of course, you want to talk college basketball around this time of year. Both Texas State's men and women are getting ready for the Sun Belt Conference Tournament in Pensacola, Florida. At the time of this recording, Texas State's men certainly in the running for a first-round bye in Pensacola next week as they get ready for the regular season finale against the Troy Trojans. And going into that game, the Bobcats won 5 straight games at home, so starting to really turn things on here late in the year. They won 2 straight overall, coming off a win over ULM to open up this final homestand. Before that, a win in Atlanta on Saturday against Georgia State. So here to talk to us about men's basketball, a second-year player of the program, a sophomore out of San Antonio, Jordan Mason joins us on States Up. Jordan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good, Jordan. Always a pleasure talking to you. And you and I actually visited in the post-game interview on Tuesday after the win over ULM. So we've had a chance to catch up before, but let's get to know a little bit more about you here on States Up, and getting into some of what you've done this year. You're the team's top scorer at about 13 points a game. You led the team in scoring in the win over ULM. You put up 20-point games 3 times this year, to include your debut in the win over UTA. So as you look at year 2 for yourself so far, what do you think has stood out?
So far, I think it's been a pretty successful year. I know as a team, we've had a lot of injuries and a lot of ups and downs, but I think, we've just been persistent, and I've been persistent, dealing with injuries. And I couldn't have asked for a better season. I've been able to learn and grow, continue to get better as a player.
As I mentioned, the team has won 2 in a row. It's a 5-game win streak here at home. What's clicking right now for the team? What's been the difference?
I think we just, we're trusting each other. We're becoming more confident in ourselves, and, we're gelling at the right time. We've had injuries and all sorts of stuff going on, so we're finally hitting that point where we've gelled and really become a team.
Yeah, Jordan, you mentioned the injuries, and it's been a story for this team going back to last year. Dating back to the beginning of last season, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the team has played with a full allotment of players exactly once. One game, dating back to the beginning of last year. Have you had everybody available going into a game? And even then, I think that one game it did happen. I think that Mason Harrell got hurt within it. So you look at this season, there's yourself, Davion Sykes, didn't make his debut until January. Dylan Dawson's missed some time this year. Colton Benson didn't play the first 10 games. Chris Nix has sat out a few games. You missed the first 6 games. How tough has that been from a chemistry standpoint?
It's been tough. Injuries are part of the game, so you kind of just have to adjust and go with it. But missing those games, it's been rough for us because we never got to gel on the court in an actual game, and then a lot of those practices, not having guys, you're not on the same page all the time. You don't really know what each other's thinking because you haven't played enough together. So it's been tough, but now we're able to practice together and learn off each other and kind of figure it out. This
is not to mention that you haven't had Drew Drennan the entire year. Tyrone Morgan only played the first 2 games and has since shut things down. And right now, your starting point guard who took over because of Drew Drennan's injury, Caden Gums, has been missing some time after a scary injury at South Alabama. Looking at those 3 guys in particular, you got a couple of vets, in Drew and in Tyrell that really haven't been in there, and this young, promising point guard missing time right now. Looking at the impact of those 3 in particular, what has that been like?
They have a huge impact on the team, in the locker room. Not having Drew all year it's a big hit for us. He's a veteran. He's been in the league for a long time. He makes a lot of good plays for us, and he just kind of calms us down. And then, seeing Tyrell early in the year, he was amazing the first 2 games, and he was, that was the season he was going to have. I just knew he was going to have a really, really good season, and not having him hurts. But we've had some guys step up, like Caden Gums. He stepped up when his name was called. And, missing him right now, he brings a lot of energy, and, he keeps the team together. So I think it's been a little bit tough, but we play for those guys every day, and it kind of gives us something to motivate us when we're not as motivated as we should be to practice or anything like that, because, you can't take things for granted when those guys are out. So just kind of try to play for them.
And you would know about that next man up mentality. I go back to last year, and the first, 6 weeks, 2 months, you really weren't playing much at all. But then the injuries, started to stack up, and so somebody had to fill those roles, and you come in and really, kind of hit the ground running when you first started playing a season ago. Take me back to that point in time in your career and what it meant to you to take advantage of that opportunity.
It was honestly, I was a little nervous. I'd never really played college basketball, and I mean, it was exciting. It was exciting being able to get out there and just have energy and just play hard, because just being given the opportunity to go show myself, prove myself was fun. I enjoyed it a lot, but I just honestly had great people around me, so it made it a lot easier. Like Mason Harrell, Nigel Caesar, guys like that. So it wasn't anything too overwhelming, because they kind of just calmed me down every day, helped me keep my head on straight.
I bet if you asked people around the Sun Belt a month ago about Texas State getting a first-round bye, not many people would have believed you. But here you are now in a position to do that. You get a win against Troy. Some other things happen around the league. You might find yourself in the top 10 getting a first-round bye. What would that mean for this team in next week's tournament?
It would mean a lot. I think we're a little bit short-handed right now with some guys out, and getting that bye is really big. Last year, we didn't get it, and we went on a run, and I felt like towards the end of the tournament, our legs started to get tired. It was a little bit tougher playing so many games, and 4 days or 5 days that we were there, and getting this bye it'll set us up to make a run and to do really well and still have the legs to finish.
Yeah, and you mentioned the run last year. And now, how fun was that? You do have to play in the first round last year. You beat Georgia State, and then you blew out Old Dominion, a team that had beaten you in the regular season. Then you get locked up with Marshall, not many expecting you to win, and you take them down in the quarterfinals, and you push Louisiana, the eventual champion, to the semis. How, for you as a freshman last year, what was that experience like to be a part of that run?
It was amazing. I've always watched like March Madness and like conference tournaments on TV, and we lived it. It was something, nobody expected us to really go on a run and beat these teams. And so after the first couple games, we started to get confidence and we got rolling. And that Marshall game is, man, I'll never forget that. That's probably one of the most amazing moments in my basketball career.
Let's talk about your family now here for a moment. Your mom, Tatiana, your dad, Adam. You have a younger sister, Tatum. What is the Mason support group like for you with your family?
Oh, they're amazing. I mean, they're the most supportive people that I have. Honestly, without them, I couldn't do this. I mean, basketball is tough, and being a student athlete is just it's a little difficult. There's a lot of stress, and there's ups and downs, but no matter what's going on, my parents are always there for me. And then my little sister, I just want to be a good example for her. So I just do everything I can to be the best version of myself every day for her.
Is Tatum also an athlete?
She is. She plays volleyball.
Nice. Where at? I assume in San Antonio?
Yes. She goes to Brandeis High School in San Antonio.
That's kind of a rival of your alma mater, Clark, isn't it? Northside?
It is. It's hard to cheer for him, but I have to do it. I have to do it just for volleyball, though.
I got you. Were your parents both athletes, Jordan?
They were. My mom actually, she went to Clark too, and then she ended up playing at Baylor, and then my dad went to Incarnate Word and played basketball there.
So I can see, then where your love for basketball probably comes from your parents a little bit. Is that how influential were your parents and your upbringing for you in starting to love and play basketball?
It was huge. I mean, since I was probably 2, I think I was going to the gym with my dad. And, my earliest memories are sitting down watching his games or running around playing with him, playing one-on-one or shooting at halftime of his games and just watching him go play in like these men's leagues, and it inspired me to play basketball, and I just realized how much fun he still has playing the game, even being 35 years old, still doing it.
I was reading your bio online on the Texas State website, and players are asked these questions before the game, hobbies, favorite food, favorite players. And for you, the two players you listed, Michael Jordan, Kyrie Irving. So I'm kind of wondering here, with your parents having been huge basketball players kind of in that era, when Jordan was playing, is that where you get your first name from? I'm just curious.
It is.
It is,
yes,
really?
It is. Yes.
All right, so obviously, you were too young to watch Michael play. So have you gone back and watched a lot of stuff on YouTube? How familiar are you with this game?
I think my dad probably sends me clips on Instagram maybe 3 times a week. I watch Michael Jordan highlights all the time, and I mean, I would say he was amazing. Like, his athleticism was amazing, but like the way he just got to his spots and just scored, like, him and Kobe are probably the two best at it I've ever seen. It's unreal.
All right, so I have to ask Jordan, the GOAT debate. Everybody, it's come down to Michael and LeBron. Who do you got?
It's not a question. It's MJ for sure.
It's MJ.
Not even close.
Here's my take on the debate, and I've said this before, is that I think that LeBron is the more talented player. I think his overall skill set is better than Michael's. But Jordan, as the opponent, you feared him. You were afraid of Michael Jordan. He was not going to let you win, really, at anything, if that's basketball, golf, or whatever. He was out there to hurt you. LeBron, not the same fear factor. So for me, that's why I'm with you. I think Michael is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I agree. I think LeBron is probably more talented and overall better. But yeah, that mentality is just different. It's crazy.
So who do you try to style your own game after?
I would probably say, that's so tough. I feel like I try to take like certain aspects of everybody's game. Like Kyrie Irving's one of my favorite players just because of the way he's so creative with the ball. And there's nobody that can really dictate what he does. So I really like the way he plays and gets to his spots. And then like Michael Jordan, Kawhi Leonard, Kobe, like guys like that, like they're really good in the mid-range, and they get to their spots, they raise up, and they're really efficient. They knock down shots.
When I saw those players you listed, Michael and Kyrie, and I think about, well, hold on, Jordan's from San Antonio. You're not listing Duncan. You're not listing Parker, Ginobili. Now, I did throw in Kawhi in there a moment ago, but, like, that's a sore spot for Spurs fans. So, were you a Spurs guy growing up at all?
No, not really.
Wow.
I rooted against the Spurs
when
LeBron was in Miami.
Well, you need to keep that to yourself anytime you're back in SA. So,
I was going to say, it's unpopular for sure. Unpopular opinion.
Also noticed, when looking some stuff up on you, that you spent time volunteering with Be a Champion and the Special Reach program in San Antonio. Tell me more about that.
Be a Champion was I did some volunteer work with them. We kind of just we would hand out food to kids and at schools, and we would kind of just show our face and just kind of tell them about our experience as an athlete, and being able to give them meals was amazing. And then Special Reach, one of my friends' moms is she has her own volunteering spot, and so we help special needs kids. They kind of do, it's like a camp, and so we volunteer for the day and kind of just play with the kids, and just try to give them just the best experience that they can have, because like she says, that everyone deserves to feel like Tom Brady. So that's her saying. And so we just try to make them feel as special as they possibly can, and just have fun with them and help them enjoy their day, because I know that they have some rough days sometimes, because people aren't as nice. So we just try to be as nice as we can and help them out. That's
great stuff, Jordan. Let me ask you this. You mentioned how tough life can be as a student athlete. We've covered the athlete part. Student-wise, what are you studying here at Texas State?
I'm an accounting major.
So whenever your basketball career is over, that's after you play at the next level, what is it that you want to do, once you're done playing?
I think, honestly, I want to kind of help a small business and do accounting for them. That's kind of my plan. I haven't really I've thought about it, but I haven't really. I only know a couple people that do accounting, so it's kind of I don't know exactly where in the accounting world I want to go to, but I think small business would probably be what I want to do.
What hobbies do you have outside of the game? What are you doing when you're not playing basketball?
When I'm not playing basketball, man, that's tough. To be honest, I mean, I play video games a little bit, but for the most part, I don't even really play video games anymore. I'd probably say, I mean, I like playing volleyball a little bit now because my sister plays, so I do that a little bit in my free time and just spend time with family.
So you're not big on video games. It's funny because a lot of the guys, I understand, sometimes bond over that. I seem to recall talking to you and Drew, like who was the best 2K player on the team. But Drew stepped in and was like, actually, man, Call of Duty is what, Drew playing what some of the guys play. Is he the best Call of Duty guy on the team?
Drew, I haven't seen them play recently. Drew is he's definitely up there. I'd probably say, I'm gonna give it to him because I would say everyone says Drew's the best. I'm gonna say Drew, but he can't beat me in 2K though. I don't even play video games anymore. Yeah, that's why he switched to Call of Duty.
Well, hey, Jordan, fans can find you on social media, on Twitter, JAMason32, to follow you a little bit more. And again, man, it's been great talking to you. This regular season's winding down. Best of luck to you and the guys, in the finale against Troy, and then after that into Pensacola next week. Here's to another great tournament run for the team, and thanks again for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, then again, Jordan Mason joining us on the States Up podcast. Again, the Bobcats have won 5 straight at home, and look to extend those winning streaks and to take on the Troy Trojans to wrap up the regular season on Friday. For Jordan Mason, I'm Brain Freeman, as always, reminding you to keep those States up, and we'll see you next time.